Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today. I'm, of course, Gregor Guy.
My name's Casey.
And for your viewing pleasure, we will be presenting this week's episode of Banghead Financial. So, what has been going on this week? Obviously, as we briefly touched on last week, the CPI data has come out for the month of June, which came out at 9.1%.
Which is higher than they expected it. They thought it was only going to be like 8 something.
Yeah, I think 8.8, 8.9 was their projection. But, I mean, obviously, with, fuel prices in particular in the month of June, now, obviously, we have seen some relief since then. But, I mean, that's just going to, raise the cost of core goods, you would say, food, electricity, stuff you need to basically survive.
Right.
So, once again, and if my estimations are correct, then the actual inflation numbers over the course of the past 12 months are more or less somewhere around the lines of 27%.
Right. There's going to be a lot less expendable income, where you can just go do whatever you want with that money. You have to use that money to survive, and if you were just barely surviving, you're going to be coming on very hard times.
That's funny you actually bring that up, because I saw a report that more Americans in these particular times are living paycheck to paycheck,
right,
than they have in the past 50 years.
And not to mention, the kids growing up these days can't even afford to buy a house. They have to rent apartments or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I barely afford my house, to be honest with you. I think I got like right on the edge there between the times that we could own our own property and we had to live in somebody else's.
Even with your fixed APR on your veteran loan,
right? I could refinance and
you don't want to do that,
right? Well, it would be extended, but it would be through USAA, and they would give me another fixed APR to go.
Right, but what I'm saying is, let's transition into this. More than likely, the FOMC, when they have their meeting, I believe on the, I think it's like the 26th, 27th, and toward the end of the month anyway.
Right.
The question is, do they do a 50 basis points, interest rate hike? Are they going to stick with the 75 that they did last month? Or do they go the route of Canada and go the entire 100 basis point or 1% on interest?
I don't know. I've already written off Canada.
Well, I mean, that's fair, but I'm kind of in the camp that I think they're going to stick to 75. I mean, a lot of people believe that, with fuel prices and everything receding, there's kind of like a growing hope that they're going to do 50, but I think 75 would be the smart play, realistically, in my mind, the way I see it. Whether or not they actually follow through on that, though,
I'm of the thinking that none of this is going to change until we get a change of the administration, of the leadership in this country. Because without opening up the ability to make our own fuel and even just the idea of having a positive outlook on the future is a powerful thing, and you're not going to get that with Biden and his administration. It's just not going to happen.
It's funny you mentioned that, because actually this past week they did, open up 70,000 acres of federal land to fossil fuel drilling.
Right. I mean, even
it's a start.
Yeah. I mean, it is a start.
Still shouldn't have shut down the Keystone Pipeline.
Right. Right. That was a dumb move.
That was just, chopping people off at the knees.
Right.
Come on, man. In my opinion.
And he did that right as soon as he came in.
First day.
So he didn't really start out on a good foot, and he's continuing to flip-flop and trip over himself throughout the entire thing. Not to mention that it's not even him anyways. It's the idiots that are
advising
him and within the administration. Even though I don't even think he really makes any decision whatsoever.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's hard to say. Obviously, realistically is still in charge.
Yeah, that's true, but I mean, I don't know. What are you going to walk out of a meeting with Shabba Dabba to come under pressure? That just means do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened before, so.
Right.
All right, but yeah, I mean, so realistically, inflation, I mean, the end of the month, we will know what the Fed is going to do on interest rates. Also, once again, just reiterating this, probably like the first week of August, we will get the GDP numbers for quarter two, which realistically will define whether or not we are in a recession. So we'll have to wait for that. Other than that, the only other thing going on this week is I actually finally heard a date on the, I mean, it's obviously been dubbed the ETH 2.0
right.
Release or network merge, whatever. Basically, they're transitioning from proof of work to proof of stake.
Right.
And I believe that date that I heard was somewhere around September 19th. Now, if you don't know, this has gotten pushed back and 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 pushed back some more.
Now, also as important is that this is when you can no longer mine Ethereum.
Yes, that's correct.
So that means that there's now going to be a limited set amount of Ethereum, and there will be no more.
And on top of that, with
were they planning on burning any of it?
Well, I mean, if they keep the 15 EIP 1559 initiative going, it's still going to continually burn.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't have the research in front of me as far as whether that protocol will continue.
Right.
That could be interesting because then I believe at one point in time during the course of the last 12 months, there was 1 month where they burned more than was actually mined.
Okay.
So, I mean, okay, now you can't mine it anymore. Now, if you just can keep burning,
right,
you're lowering supply.
Right.
But I mean, the main focus of this particular, transition and upgrade is to hopefully help with, scalability and everything. So they want to try and expand into more areas. And as far as there's not a whole lot of, expectation that it helps with the gas fees that are an issue on the Ethereum network at this point in time. But we'll have to see the work in action.
Right.
I'll say before I make a decision on that.
Okay.
But also on top of that, that made me, thinking, Polygon, the matting network, they've been making some moves in the background. They recently signed a agreement with Disney, and they saw like a 20% jump in their price action. Now, as far as what that deal is, I don't know. But at the same point in time, as soon in my mind, now this is obviously how I'm viewing it. Polygon right now is the number one layer 2 scaling solution for the Ethereum network.
Okay.
So as soon as they go to proof of stake, and diversify out of proof of work, they're going to have to, do something. So I mean, they're just trying to future proof in my mind.
I mean, I don't know how. I mean, I know Disney's a big company. I'm pretty sure they're hemorrhaging money right now.
Right, but I don't know the terms of that deal. Like,
right.
I literally just heard about that. I think it was signed earlier in the week, but I just heard about it on Saturday when I got power back.
Right.
So it was been a little bit crazy week. I'm a little behind on the news, so forgive me for that. I'll get caught up though.
All right.
So, I mean, yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens on that front. I guess we'll just go ahead and end financial right there. Unless you got something else to say.
I got nothing.
You got nothing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm of course Gregor Guy.
My name's Casey.
And everyone out there, this has been Banghead Financial. Thank you for watching, and we hope you learned something.